Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Unification cast this side of East Yorkshire. And so over 1 versus 1 on Battle Marshes. Over in the Dark Angels corner we've got Vrax. And over in the Death Guard corner we have Omneity, the Foul, the Third. Omneity going to be opening up a Poxwalker Slave, triple Nurgle Cultists and a Temple of Disease. Whereas the Dark Angels player is going to go for triple Scouts, Tech Servitor and a Cloister Barracks. So, green on the Battle Marshes, something we do enjoy to be seen. Dark Angel's going to be opening up with a fair few number of Scout Marines, which is what they tend to do. Scout Marines for the the Dark Angels. I'll make that mistake a couple of times this match, don't you worry about it. They're quite beefy boys, these guys. They've got like access to a combat shotgun straight off the bat, sniper rifle when they get their chamber up and ready, Scout Sergeant in tier 2 obviously, but these lads don't mess around in close combat, well not close combat, short ranged fire combat I guess, if that's the way you want to put it. Plague Marines out, 2 of them on the way, quite slow but potentially able to deal with these boys. I imagine pound for pound the Plague Marines will be able to take them out. There are a fair amount of Nurgle Cultists on the field there, everyone just capturing their bits and bobs around the base. Nothing coming out of the Cloister Barracks as of yet, though we do have these Scout Marines moving forward with a combat shotgun. Will help them doing a bunch of harassing nonsense and whatnot. Combat shotgun is able to knock down medium or lighter infantry. I don't think it has any effect on these Plague Marines. Scout's going to move over into the light cover of these trees. And they are actually doing a fair bit of damage against these Plague Marines. Ah, they are able to knock them down, fair enough. I'm going to get an extra boy and a second combat shotgun. So yeah, no, it's all kicking off here at the moment. Double Plague Marine squads moving forward, flanking this Nurgle Cultist squad on the way. Will be able to defend that listening post. Poxwalker deciding to go off on his own travels, going to dance this listening post into perfection. These Nurgle Cultists are slightly different to, not cultists, they slave are different to your regular slaves in normal chaos, as they can't dance quickly. These scouts are going to go over here, see if they can push off these cultists from this critical location. A bit risky going on over here. Scouts trying to capture this relic over yonder. Although these Marines and cultists won't see them, so in for a safe time all in all. We do have a Company Master coming out. Doesn't look like Vrax has decided whether he's going to go for the Raven Wing branch or the Death Wing branch as of yet. Raven Wing allowing them to have access to, shall we say, like more quicker, more fast attack options in the grand scheme of things, compared to Death Wing that do a lot of, well, death I suppose. Scouts bullying these Nurgle Cultists over here, going to get a model or 2 down, no doubt. Plague Marines slowly but surely whittling their way through the sentry post. Plague Marines, their DPS isn't amazing. I mean, 18 to 22 at range compared to Scouts over here, which is 25 and 32. Scout Marines do out DPS these guys. Company Master running in, attacking them with his chain sword, shining in the distance. Cultist caught between 2 beefy lads. Tech Marine also going to jump in, getting nice close and personal. Tech Marine doesn't mind being in close combat. He is a builder unit, but he's also technically a hero. He's got commander armour. Holding a bolt pistol in one hand with a sniper scope. Although, that being said, he won't survive for much longer if he keeps in combat. These scouts just one squad on its own. Trying to keep away from these cultists, so I'll try to tie them up in close combat. But the Scout Marines are a lot quicker. 74 and 10 for the Dark Angels, almost called them that, compared to 74 and 10 for the Death Guard. So that's the thing. Gift repository going to go down. This side of the map seems to have been captured by the Dark Angels at this present moment in time. Death Guard trying to beat back this company commander. Anyone going for tier 2 as of yet? No, not quite. Plague Lord out on the field there. Will probably want to go toe-to-toe with that company commander at some point, depending on where he's gone. Ah, there he is, hiding off in the trees. Plague Lord though won't probably be able to catch him in a straight-up chase, so we'll just decide to fire at him with his bolter pistol, although that's a lot of scouts coming down now. And they've all got a couple of shotguns apiece. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 shotguns all in all. So even if one of these guys do get tied up in close combat, won't do the Death Guard all that much. And it just goes to show just how impressive these scouts are, even with an almost numerical similarity in their numbers. We'll have to push these Death Guard Marines back by the looks of things. Also imagine that they're able to reinforce themselves a lot quicker as well. I suppose the only thing that the Plague, or sorry, should I say the Death Guard player could do at this point is, well, I suppose just tech into something different. He's going to go for what I've just upgraded then. Disgustingly Resilience. That will drastically increase their, well, armor and health, I suppose. You can't out DPS them, just out health them. Big old booby bits going on down there. Will regen the health of the Plague Marines, as well as doing damage to anyone nearby, keeping them fighting fit. Space Marine squad of the Dark Angels moving in with their little shiny statues on top of their backpacks. What Space Marine carries in his backpack, I'm not entirely sure. Or is that a power pack? Maybe. Who knows, really, in the grand scheme of things. Scoutster still standing strong. Company Master on the verge of death. Just going to be screened by these scouts, keeping him alive. Plague Marines, though, after that upgrade, not dying as quickly as they were. 6 in their squad. And 6 Marines with 2,300 health compared to the almost double health of 5 Marines. Plague Lord not wanting to get involved. What's going on? Tier 2. And not sure if we've got Tier 2 for the Dark Angels as of yet. Big green cloud going on over here, going to prevent these dudes from pushing forward anytime soon. Critical location also being captured. Do have a Blight Grenade of some description being researched as well. And more Marines on the way. Tech Servitor going on a bit of a mission. Not quite getting over to Listening Post. Do the Servitors have any special ability? Kind of like the, what would you call it? The Servitors, the Ecclesiarchal Servitors of the Sisters, where they have their ability to dismantle stuff. Not sure if the Dark Angels have a similar ability. Space Marines increasing in number, but this is a lot of Plague Marines now in the mix, throwing over a Blight Grenade, doing significant damage to these lads, even when they're coming out of the area of effect. So I suppose what Amenity is deciding to do is not necessarily tech into anything drastic, but just going to upgrade his regular troops to the max, going for a Plague Champion, which was a Plasma Gun on this squad, and just a regular old Plague Champion on this squad over here at the moment. Space Marines are going to fall back to the safety and succour of this sentry turret. Ah, they have gone for Tier 2. There's a little shiny light on top. That's how you would identify Tier 2 for them, I do believe. Plague Havocs on the way. And a Tribulation Mound, demonic pit dedicated to the requisition of Nurgle demonic forces. So potential Plague Bearers on the way. All those flying Plague things, I think. Whatever you call them. Pox Flyers? Pox Flies? I just assume it's got the word Pox in front of it. That's just generic Nurgle nonsense. Chaplain out now. Going to provide some healing benefits towards his dudes. But not only have these guys got extra health, they're also in heavy cover. Also being healed by... It's very, Death Knight from Warcraft 3. You know, where they're able to, like, fire, like, a big black old ball towards the undead units and heal them and stuff. Or did he drain health with that ability? For the life of me, I cannot remember. Dark Angel's going to go for a Machine Knave and a Razorback. Twin Link Heavy Bolters. Light Tank. Won't be able to stand up too much against the whatchamacallums, the Plague Havocs. Going to go for a Mantle of Contagion. What does it do? It unlocks a passive aura, Symbol of Chaos. Gives a Lord of Stormbolter as well. So that'd be good. That'd be nice for him. Let's spot his life choices. Biologist Putrefier, also on the way. I don't think we've had a look at this model before. He's a chunky lad, isn't he? Wonderful. It's like a Christmas tree almost, with all those baubles on the back.
I shall raise a
there we go.
To great Nurgle.
As well as a malefic... Bloody hell, Nurgle units are so difficult to read. Malignant Plaguecaster. Nurgle Sorcerer, that's what we're going to call it. Razorback, moving forward. Tanking a lot of the damage, although not sure if this is the best place for him to be. Although the chaplain has moved in, instantly breaking the morale of these Plague Havocs. Bashing them in the head, although he's not doing so pretty himself, as he is being slapped on the backside by this Plague Lord. Scout Marines moving forward, as well as these Space Marines. They have been equipped with triple plasma generators. Going to make quick work of these Marines that are outside the heavy cover. Focus fire, no doubt. Sniper rifle and a combat shotgun on these scouts round the back. Scouts tying up these Plague Havocs as quickly as they can. Biologist Putrefier doing some putrefying of those scouts. And a big old smoke... Razorback firing smoke cloud over there, giving these guys a little bit more defense at the range game, no doubt. Razorback falling back now that those Havocs look like they're having a free reign over things. They have a bit of a hefty setup time, so it does give the Razorback a chance to retreat. Not much else going on this side of the map, really. It's all just kicking off on this side of the map. 98 and 30. Oh dear, that Scout Marine not having the best life. Yeah, so 98 and 30 compared to the 110 and 40 of the Dark Angels. Scouts there, managing to get away, possibly? No, never mind. That scout's been sent back home in a bin bag. Going to go for... Oh, what have they researched? Or thinking of researching. Going to go for Power of the Battle Company, Tier 3. So the Plague Lord... I mean, Starlord, I suppose. I mean, they have options. They are trying to get a second Razorback, which might be a bit of a gamble, considering that there is a... what should we call it? A Havoc Squad there. We do have a Tallyman. Can attach. What does he do? Effective against infantry. Increases the weapon accuracy of squads that he's attached to. Very slow moving there. Very slow moving indeed. Attack Marine firing his bolt pistol over the Plague Lord. Plague Lord doesn't seem to mind that. The slow march of Nurgle as he spreads his contagion towards this sentry post. But it's still not going down all that quickly. Plague Grenade being thrown at the Company Master and his lads. They're staying in it a little bit too long. Going to die very quickly if they don't move out. Dear oh dear. Company Master though, not really taking all that much damage. Decides to throw some filth at himself, increasing his health regen for a short while. Going to go for some more Space Marines. Population full though. Won't be able to get this Razorback online for a fair while. And it's looking a bit dire for the Dark Angels at the moment. Chaplain's still online. We're going to have to get some serious DPS dealing units on the field at the moment. Kind of have to give up on this machine knave. It doesn't look like it's going to survive for much longer. Although this machine... Oh, so this... what is it called? A Tech Priest... Not Tech Priest. Tech Servitor isn't being harassed at the moment, so he's keeping this guy online. Plague Marine squad slowly being chucked away by these plasma gun wielding Space Marines. Second Havoc squad moving forward. Yeah, I suppose at the moment the Dark Angels do have a little bit of time to play for, as these, what do we call them, these Plague Marines aren't dealing all that much in the way of damage towards any of the buildings. So a Dark Angels command squad on the way. Going to add some Space Marine champions to his number. These guys do not mess around in close combat. Absolute deadly if they can get in there with their shields and whatnot. Some quick ganders at that model while he's slicing away. Although a bit zealous, he is still riding solo. But if he can keep these guys alive, they'll be able to definitely toe the line. Or maybe not. Maybe no. Gonna die. Dear oh dear. Although he does manage to take out a Plague Marine while he was there. It's very nice of him. Excellent use of these Plague Grenades there, or Blight Grenades, whatever you call them. Excellent news indeed. Machine Nave has gone down. Now they're going to go for the Fortress of the Rock, which maybe is not the best idea. Maybe want to focus on his cloister barracks. Razorback not looking like it's going to live for much longer. Going to go for a Chapel of the Inner Sanctum. Does produce the chapter's most powerful units. Potentially seeing some Primarch action here if the Dark Angels can just hold on for a little bit longer. They do have sizable resources behind them, lots of green money. Not really spending all that much on upgrades. In fact, do they even have an upgrade building? Ah, they've got a San Christi chamber over yonder. Space Marine squad not looking all that healthy. What's going on over on this side? Gonna go for a Bane Pit. No Nurgle demon units at the moment. Gonna go for lots of upgrades. Inexorable Advance increases health of worshippers of Nurgle, as well as some putrid missiles. So allowing the Havocs to also have some anti-infantry capabilities here. Dark Angel Command Squad back on the field, ready for round 2. Going to go for some more Command Space Marine champions. All goes relatively quiet. I mean, not sure why the Death Guard are pulling back. Oh, that's because there's an Assault Squad. Where did you come from, Assault Squad? What have you been up to? Not much, by the looks of things. But at least giving the Nurgle player a chance for a retreat, I suppose, if that sentence even made any sense. Plague Lord being recruited, so he must have died somewhere in that mix and mash. Primaris Hellblaster squad out. These dudes are not to be sniffed at in any way, shape or form. These guys can have access to Plasma Exterminators, Assault Plasma Incinerators, and a Heavy Plasma Incinerator, should they so choose. Absolutely wrecking face of anything and everything that come within their path. An ideal remedy to the sickness of these boys' thickness. I like these Assault Marines. They're waiting for the time to strike the old hammer and anvil. Lots of plasma weapons here. Going to absolutely melt their way through these Plague Marines. Big old orbital bombardment going down here. Going to absolutely annihilate the back line of these Plague Marines. Can't retreat while this is going on neither, so they'll have to stand and fight somewhat. Lots of Plague nonsense going on down here though. Although these Space Marine squads are just going to stand firm and hold on to what they can. Just shrugging it off at this point. Must have been upgraded with some armour of their own. So Carnage and Chaos. Plague Havocs firing away with their Blight missiles. While the Plague Marines are still standing strong, they don't look as confident as they did. The Primaris did indeed survive.
And now walk here.
We're going to have a Company Master returning to the fray. Anything else coming out of the Chapel of Inner Light? Not quite as of yet. Plague Marines now moving in. One more push. Assault Marines flanking around the side to occupy these dudes around the back. And focus firing on this Plague Lord are these Space Marines. Primaris Hellblast squad going to have to move back a little bit, kiting him a bit there. Plague Lord does not have the movement speed to keep up with them. Sentry Post going down. Assault Marines, 4 in their number still, going to die very, very quickly there. Full squad wipe going on there. And yeah, it's not looking all that well, even with the assistance of Roberto Gilliman's reinforcements. I'm going to go for a third Plasma Incinerator. If they can stand the test of time against the corrosion of these Plague Havocs, which does not look like they're able to. Losing another model. Plasma Dynamo going to go down anytime soon. Machine Nave being rebuilt over here. Chaplain on its way out. Do have some Sniper Scouts over here. Going to tie up these, or at least keep these chosen Plague Marines busy. And that spells the Scouts, just proving their mettle. Still doing a lot of damage to these chosen. They won't win, but just shows that the Dark Angels Scouts are still viable no matter what stage of the game you're playing in. We go for another Dark Angels command squad. Hasn't really pulled its own weight as that unit so far. Primaris, 1 unit left, or sorry, 1 man left in that squad. Pet Marine also being re-recruited. Cloister Barracks not being in the best situation possible. And I mean, what else can the Dark Angels do at this point? Their energy is running low. They've They've got a lot of green, but not a lot of green, a lot of blue, but not much to spend their blue on. These units from the Chapel of the Inner Circle and the Machine Nave are green-intensive recruitment buildings. They're not going to get all that much in the way of units at the moment. It's going to take a major backfire for these Dark Angels to come out on top. Fortress of the Rock being slow but surely repaired by the Fortress by the Servitors and Tech Marine, although sadly will be taken down. So yeah, it certainly looks like a Dark Angels win, but I'm looking at my time at the moment and there is time to play for. Assault Veteran Squad on the way out. So there must be something else. There must be a plan that this Dark Angels player is concocting. Company Master watching his Plasma Dynamo fall from a distance. Chosen Plague Marines moving down. We'll see this Fortress of the Rock being rebuilt over here. Sentry Post though, going to help defend. Although these Tech Servitors aren't going to enjoy being shot in the face while they try and rebuild. Multitasking is not a thing anyone enjoys. Orbital bombardment coming from the behind. And actually, getting a fairly few good shots on these guys. God blimey, that is a beautiful animation going on there. Taking out a good chunk of health on these Plague Marines. And a Primaris Hellblaster squad now fully fledged and fully equipped. Going to go to town on a whole unit over there. I think has suffered a squad wipe. Assault Veterans have the morale broken, but they are keeping these Plague Havocs on the run, allowing these Primaris just to absolutely wreck face from a distance. Tactical Veteran Squad on the way as well. Do more damage in close combat than range combat, but at this point, with these guys just absolutely... Hey, look at this. This is not what I expected. Death Guard not pushing in as quickly as they should have, really. They had a lot of boys here. They could have pushed in a little bit earlier, but they decided to wait for reasons beyond my ken. And it does look like the entire Death Guard army is going to suffer an entire wipe by the looks of things. It is. I mean, they have got Blight Lord Tenors. Let's have a look at these guys. Beautiful models. Shaking nervously with their axes, but their auto cannons are blazing. The cream of the crop for the Death Guard. And it does look like that the Dark Angels have lost their builder units, so they're just going to have to enjoy the remains of what these buildings can provide. No more sentry points or anything for these guys. But either way, they've done a fantastic job. Assault Squad charging in. No care or anything. Not being reinforced though. That is a bit unfortunate. Could have kept those back and reinforced them. Every squad that they have at the moment is precious and valuable to the Dark Angels. But the Blight Lord Terminators are trying to retreat, but their incredibly slow movement speed is not going to do them any favours. What's the economy like for these guys at the moment? They've been spending loads. Going to try and go for Plague Wars Tier 4. So potential for some mega Nurgle units here as well. Absolute insane battle going on so far. All the Plague Marines can do at the moment is just hold on, because this does look like a killing blow force from the Dark Angels if they can't repel them. Chosen Plague Marines and Blight Terminators not being able to hold them back. I suppose it's just the combination of these Hellblasters and the Assault Veterans. Also as well, the Chaplain doing an amazing job denying the damage over time from the weapons that the Bright Lord Champion and the, well, just a general Nurgle vibe can bring to bear. I've finished with their Tier 5 at the moment. Very rarely I actually see a Tier 5 game on the go. So what's going to be cooked up by the Death Guard in answer to this? Don't have a lot of resources though, so might not even be able to get their mega units online in time. slow charge into the Death Guard base. Lots of morale being broken. And to be fair, even though this is quite a sizable force, a lot of the models are very low health at the moment. Well, with the exception of these Primaris Hellblasters. And this listing post, it's nothing to be ignored. It does quite a significant portion of damage. But then again, so these Hellblasters listing post is going to go down like a sack of spuds. Another squad of Blight Lord Terminators on the way. Do have a supply capacity increase as well as a Plague Beast Crawler. Not sure if that's going to change the course of this battle at this present moment. What a turnaround, if that is indeed what this is. Well, Terminators are out. We'll probably have to keep them back and reinforce them. You don't want to throw them away too early. Just 2 Bright Lord Terminators are not going to... So not Bright, Blight. Again, carrying on the theme of not being able to pronounce the Nurgle player, well, the Death Guard units. Temple of Disease is going to go down. Plague Burst Crawler now out on the field. Should be able to do a tiny bit of damage to these guys. I imagine it's very much like the amount of damage that the Basilisk of the Imperial Guard can do. Not enough damage that it would take out all these lads, but enough to at least whittle them down ever so slightly to give these Plague Marines and these Bright Lords enough time to, or enough chance to come back. They're being very brave, moving forward. Going to be within firing distance. It's not got a lot of armour. I mean, for an artillery unit, it's fairly beefy, but by tank standards, it's not something you want to have on the front lines. Gift of Prository looking like it's going to go the way of the dinosaur. Sentry Post holding its own, but surrounded by this beautiful concave. I'm going to go for a second Plague Burst Crawler. And to be fair, it's doing its job. Assault Veterans being whittled down by the auto cannons. The Bright Plague Burst Crawler having to deal with a lot of damage coming from these guys at the moment. Although they are trying to decap the strategic point at the moment. Maybe not the best time to attempt for a decap. Dark Angels going to be very, very careful here. A lot of their units are quite low on health and model count. Might need to even pull back a little bit just to regain their numbers. Do have some Nurgle cults going to go down here and decap these strategic points. Assault Veterans going to go for a squad wipe by the looks of things. Yeah, that is very unfortunate. It's going to be one squad of Primaris Hellblasters. A better position against the might of the Death Guard, or the remnants of the Death Guard, shall we say. And it does look like, yeah, it's focusing on these Scourge Generators, but not going to be what you want at this stage of the game. I believe that, yeah, without all the additional HQ buildings and whatnot, they're not able to recruit any of their other dudes, so that was it. So, Hell's Bells, just when you think the Death Guard are going to lose, the Death Guard look like they're going to win, and then they lose. It's back and forth. I very much enjoyed that one. Very weird, but amazing. Cool. Anyway, mine's been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure as always, never short. And I'll see you in a bit. Peace.